Hey everybody, how we doing? Thank you for being here today. And I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all you wonderful moms out there. It's Mother's Day in the UK, and I just want to honor that for a moment before I carry on with Maddie's message. Now, look at those moms who've made all the sacrifices for us. I think they deserve a round of applause. And if I could clap every one of them, I am trying to now, okay? I also want us to honor those people whose moms aren't with us today because they are in spirit and we miss them. There's a little tug on us thinking how much we miss them. So I'm sending lots of love to all the people who are missing their moms, who they physically can't hold and cuddle today, and to remind them of the beauty that their moms brought into their lives and the beauty that is still within you. I'm sure there's plenty of times you go, oh my gosh, my mom used to say that, or oh, I just sound like my mom. What's that all about? Yeah? So let's honor that beauty that your moms have shared with you, no matter how long your journey was. Okay, let us also honor the moms that didn't quite make the grade, okay? Those moms that have been consumed in toxic relationships and having a toxic relationship with themselves, where they missed out on the cherishing bond you can have in bringing and nurturing a child into this world. So let's send love their way. They need lots of love and compassion. But where there's dark, there's always light, okay? And let's honor those amazing foster moms. Yay! And those moms that adopted children. What an amazing, generous gesture that is. So, hello, Laura King. Oh my gosh, how you doing? Hey, Karina. Hi, Denise. And Kevin, oh my gosh, and Amanda Jane, thank you so much for being here. Okay, I hope you can all get something from Maddie's message today. So, I woke up at 5:45 this morning, and I thought last night when I went to bed, I was all set to give my message. I knew what they wanted me to say, Spirit, and I knew how they wanted me to say it, okay? Last week, we looked at a spiritual perspective on toxic relationships, and we looked at the first stage of grief, which was denial. And what we did was, the reason we did that was because I said that when you are in a toxic relationship or left a toxic relationship, some part of you is dying or has died, okay? And we do go into the process of denial many, many times when we don't want to face up to reality, or we don't really think we're enough to move from that situation. So today we're going to be looking at anger. Anger, you know, that emotion that can be scary. So first up, I just want to tell you that the song that Spirit placed in my heart this week was Love Changes Everything by Michael Ball. Now that was pretty much a few decades ago, if I remember rightly. And I went, yeah, I get this. Yeah, Spirit, I know love changes everything and it heals everything, especially when you start working with yourself and you're honoring yourself to deserve love and be open to love, which is really important. Now, my story that Spirit placed in my heart at 5:45 this morning was not the story I was going to tell you. So I'm just going to go with this. And it was shocked me really because I'd actually forgotten that it happened in my life. And when you hear the story, you'll probably be surprised why I forgot about it because it was pretty drastic. But I want to let you work out why I forgot about it when you hear the story for yourselves. Okay, so are we sitting comfortably? Hi, Bethan. Hi, Margie. Hi, Barry. Let me begin. So Maddie's message starts like this. When I was 16, my mom and dad decided that they would separate and divorce. We'd already lived in a funny household where my mom and dad lived separate lives, but they decided that until I passed my exams, being the younger child, when I reached the age of 16, they were going to go their separate ways. They didn't really inform me about this, regularly, but it was always there. Something was wrong. And the way you just sort of get into a situation and you just sort of stay in it and you just accept, well, this is how it is, but it's not very pleasant, but that's how it's meant to be. I'm a child, for goodness sake. What would I know? Okay. So when I was 16, pretty much very quickly, the house was sold and my mom and dad went separate ways. Now our family had been divided. When my mom and dad weren't getting on, my family split and there were sides taken. Now I don't believe in sides, just so you know. And I found it difficult because I loved my mom and loved my dad equally. So this is where the pull was. So when my dad wasn't there, I really, really felt this thing. And within a few months after we settled into a new home and dad was at his mom's, he'd moved in with his mom. And I used to go and stay there at weekends, which was fantastic. It's like a little holiday. But then I had to come back to the real home, the real life, and see that dad wasn't there. And this man just appeared one weekend at my house. And I was thinking, who are you? What are you doing at my house? This is my home. And he kept appearing more and more. He came to see my mom, and she would entertain him. She would cook for him. They would laugh, they would giggle. And I was taking myself well out of the situation because I was getting very cross. I was thinking, you, Sunshine, you're not going to replace my father. So I was building all these resentments for this man. I didn't know what role he wanted, by the way, in my life. He tried to talk to me, and I used to think, what a And I really felt very uncomfortable with this. But unbeknown to me, I actually started to build resentments for my mom at the time because I felt she wasn't being honest. She didn't really tell me much about this guy. He just arrived. Why wasn't I prepared for this? So I was building up all these defense mechanisms that I couldn't trust her. And I was feeling like I was being betrayed. And I'd go and see my dad. I couldn't tell my dad this strange guy's knocking around that my mom seems to like a lot. Ooh, what a shame. Can I just kill him off somehow, get rid of him? And I couldn't tell my dad because I didn't want to hurt my dad because my dad was trying to get over a divorce. So I had no one to tell. So on the Saturdays that I couldn't see my dad, I'd be at home, I'd be up in my bedroom, I'd play my music really loud just to irritate my mom. And this was how old I was, 18, 19, 20, going on to 21. And this was through that phase where I was getting angrier and angrier, and I couldn't release it. I'd started dating someone, and I quite liked him, and I was like, I don't care what you think, mother. That stage where you're just like, I can't be bothered with you, and you know what? I'm going to date him anyway. I was like that. I know you can't believe that of me, because I'm so angelic. But when I was 18, 19, 20, I was going through some really, really big changes in terms of my emotional maturity, and I was not mature at all, which I found out. Anyway, after the guy would go after the weekends and he'd come in the week, things would settle down again and things were pretty okay. But when he'd come and I could smell this man, I could feel him coming, I'd be quite nasty. I would be deliberately abrupt with my mom, and I was deliberately not interested in anything she wanted to tell me about him. I was like, whatever. Isn't it time for this? Or what do you make me for tea? Or, and whatever, just to avoid talking about her and this man. And the irony was I wanted to know because I wanted to feel comfortable with this new situation. So one day I was watching something on the telly, and for some reason it had played in my mind. And the next morning when I was in the shower, it came back to me, and I heard in my head, check your breasts. And I was like, check? Oh yeah, they were showing me how to. You go under your arms, apparently, ladies, and you feel these things called lymph nodes, which I did not know about. Okay. And I was feeling around my breast to see what were they talking about, and is there any sort of lumps or bumps or things out of the ordinary that were in my breasts. Okay. And I got to my left breast, and I thought, that doesn't feel the same as my right one. So I had a little feel again. I was thinking, no, no. And I got a bit scared, so I stopped feeling around. I thought, get out the shower, get on with it, and off you go. But a couple of days later, when I was back in the shower, again, it prompted me to feel my breast. And I could actually feel a lump in my left breast that I could not feel in my right breast. I was so scared, I didn't tell anybody at all. I didn't even tell my new boyfriend. And I booked an appointment at the doctor's, which seemed the right thing to do, even though I wasn't going to go. There was something inside of me going, nah, if they cancel that, it's meant to be. It's not really there. There's nothing really going on. And I was in denial. I was in that place that we were talking about last week. I didn't love myself enough to care enough to go and say, hey, is there something wrong with me? Hi, George. Hi, Paula. Hi, Natalie. Thank you for joining me today. So I finally plucked up the courage to go and see this doctor. And in the first examination, she couldn't find anything. And I was like, yes, I knew it was all in my head. I don't really have anything wrong with me. I'm just going to get on with my life. And then she said, can you get up on the couch? So I got up on the couch. And she said, put your arms up. And then she went, oh, yes, I see what you mean. I went, what do you mean? You see what I mean? She said, yes, I'm not happy with this, what I found. She said, pretty much in a nutshell, I'm going to refer you now to a specialist, which you'll see in the week because I'm going to make it an emergency appointment for you. And I was like, what? Emergency? And my head was all over the place. I'm thinking, emergency? What do you mean emergency? What's wrong with me? Oh my God. And all I could think about was my breast's going to be taken off me. It's going to go. Chop. Boom. God, that's me. Life over. Boyfriend's not going to want me, is he? Right? When you're that age, and I really feel for this society, these teenagers growing up now believe that your body is more important than you. And this is another message that I'm sure we all want to shout about, ladies. We do not need to listen to the nonsense that's out there in social media, and has always been there, that women have to look and conform and be a certain way. Remember, you are unique, and you were meant to be unique because God created you to be so special and to bring your unique gifts here. Okay, so that's a little message for people who think their body's so more important, as in the way you look. Okay, your body is important because it talks to you, yeah, but you got to listen to what it's saying. Okay, so basically, where was I? Yeah, so I just been told I'm going to see the specialist. Went to see the specialist, still never told my mom or my boyfriend. I was too afraid because I was in denial. And I went then, and he said, yes, we'll get you in for an operation. It should be in the next 8 weeks. I'm like, why? Why? No one's telling me what's wrong with me. And he said, you've got this lump. It's a such and such, blah, 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 big, long name. And we need to know what it is. But the only way, the way it's buried so deep, is we need to get in there to have a look at it. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean? It means for you that we don't know what we're going to find. So if we do find something, you will appreciate when you sign the consent, we will have to remove it there and then with your consent. Sometimes, though, we have to go in a bit deeper. So that means we might have to remove the whole breast. Now, I'm just gone at this point. I'm going, you're removing stuff from my, how? And I'm seeing all these mad sort of, ugh. I was thinking my body's just going to go, whoa, 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 and I'm going to be totally deformed. That's how I was thinking at that time. I never saw, yay, someone's going to help me get better. That was not on the agenda, okay? I wasn't thinking that at all. So when I got my surgery date through, I had to finally tell my mom. And I had to tell my boyfriend, you know, how'd you say to work? Oh, by the way, oh, sorry, I've got no breast. It just sort of fell off in the night. That's what happened, you know? So I was coming up with all these crazy stories in my head because I was so afraid, okay? The reason I didn't tell my mom initially was because I resented her, and I resented her even knowing anything about my life, okay? I'm sure some of you listening, hi, Leon, hi, Pauline. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. We build up these resentments towards our parents or parent, okay? Because we don't really have the empathy at that point to really get in. It's all about us. It's all about us, okay? And the focus is on me, and what you're doing to me and what you're not doing to me, okay? So I was a very angry girl. I didn't really, you know, I didn't do any revengeful things or take it out on people. I just thought these things. And because I kept them all inside me and didn't voice them or get them out to someone who cared about me, they grew for 3 years, this massive grown inside me because I was so angry because I felt I was in this toxic relationship with my mom and her boyfriend, and I didn't want to be there, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it, and that was the frustration. And I so wanted to talk to my dad because he was the best person to give you any wisdom, you know, and I couldn't break his heart. So I go in for surgery, and I'm in the hospital. I'm sitting there the night before. Everyone's left me. My mom, my boyfriend, and my dad. My dad, sorry, didn't come that night. He rang me to tell me what was going on with him, and he couldn't make it, but he'd be there till the next day after the operation. So I was like, okay, Dad, love you, bye, 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 bye. You know those machines in the hospitals where you put the coins? It was like one of them things. And I was just like, it's gone. Okay, and I was so lonely. And I sat on my bed, and we were supposed to be eating this food, but all I could have was a yogurt. I was only allowed yogurt. So I went to join these really old ladies who were there. They were like in wincey pajamas and those funny fluffy nighty things, and you know those eider-down dressing gowns with the covered buttons. They were wearing them. Hi, John. And basically I was, and hairnets. Somebody even put their rollers in, and I'm thinking, what are you in hospital? Who's gonna? Okay, fair enough. And they were chattering. They didn't know each other, but they were chatting away. And Martha said, oh, Betty, I woke up in the morning after my operation and they'd taken my breast, completely gone. I didn't know it was going to go. And I'm going, did they? They never told you? Okay. And then this other woman said, yeah, and one day I woke up after the operation and both breasts were gone. I'm here for reconstruction surgery tomorrow. And I'm like, you what? I had no idea what they were talking about. The fear was in, and I went straight back to my bed and I sobbed my heart out. I didn't really sleep that much. I was first down, so I was up at 6 o'clock for my shower. I loved the pre-med because it was like making me sleepy and forget about the crazy stuff that was going to come ahead of me. And I was paranoid I was going to wake up with no breast. So after my operation, I'm in recovery, and as soon as I had my first sort of waking up moment, a lovely lady came over to me and she saw what I did. The first thing I did as soon as I opened my eyes was grab my left chest. I was like, I was trying to feel, was there anything left? But it was so padded with all these bandages that I wasn't sure what was there and how much of it was left. And she could read my mind, and she came over to me and she took my hand and she said, it's okay, Maddie, you're okay. And like now I wanted to cry. And I was just saying, but I need to know what okay means. Does that mean I'm healed, or is it all gone, or what does it mean? Anyway, at that point, she went, do you need any pain relief? And you know the way you don't think about the pain until someone asks you about it, oh my God, this kills. Give me some pain relief. So she gave me pain relief and I fell asleep and I was back on the ward. And then it was visiting. Okay, I hope I still got your attention, because this is the turning point for me, and it blew my mind. At visiting, my mom comes in, followed by my dad. And it was the first time I'd seen my mom and dad in the same room together, feeling the same emotion of concern for me, their daughter. And this love just poured out of them. And they were so attentive. And I have my mom and dad back together, you know, and I was like, wow. And it blew my mind. And something strange happened within me. I saw my mom and dad as individuals for the first time, but I saw them as two people that I loved dearly. And all this compassion just poured out of my body to them. And I realized that I can still love my parents, but they're separate now, and they're separate individuals, and they're going to bring different experiences into my life. And I should welcome this, not rebel against it. Okay, I never really grew to like that guy that my mom, you know, took up with. But hey, that's the way it goes. But I learned stuff. I learned to re-love my mom. I actually didn't stop loving her. I was just putting a mask on all the time because this anger and resentment was taking over. You know what? I didn't need any more treatment on my breast. They'd removed the lump. They said, no more treatment for you. Just rest, young lady. And that was the magic. That was the magic. So I want to say to you, have you got any anger inside of you that you've forgotten about, or you're just in denial that you're not cross with somebody or a situation? We don't focus on the anger, or we keep tapping into the anger. We are still keeping all that anger within ourselves, okay? Sometimes we shout at people, yeah, because we're angry, and we think that's going to help. Yeah, but you're just thinking you're hurting the person, but you're not really hurting the person. You're just hurting you, because you're still keeping that toxicity inside yourself, and you're having a toxic relation with yourself. You're keeping all that anger in you that festers, and it goes into places, yeah? And I love that Louise Hay says this. When anger is within you and you haven't released it, it causes disease. But Louise chops it in half and says it causes dis-ease. It is true. There is no harmony within you. You are shutting love away, and love changes everything. Okay. So are you angry? Have you got something inside of you that you haven't released? Or are you too frightened to face it? Tell me, please. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Colin. Hi, Tom. Thank you for joining me. Are you scared to face it? Okay, we're going to do a little exercise today. So if you can just get yourself comfy. And don't worry if you're going to do this and watch this again later to do it on your own. That's fine. We all love Karina. Spot on. Thank you for that. And it does change everything. Okay, we're going to do a little exercise today. And I want you to be so honest with yourself and just go with it. Now, I'm quite happy for you to inbox me with your results if you want to. It's only a little brief exercise. You can practice this on your own. Don't worry. And all I want you to do is get comfy now, wherever you are, okay? Make sure you can feel your feet on the ground. I'd like you to close your eyes, and I'd like you to breathe in through your nose. I'd like you to relax, please, and make sure your palms are upwards relaxed in your lap. Feel the chair behind you. And when you take a lovely deep breath in through your nose, I'd like you to blow it out through your mouth. I'd like you to take another deep breath in, please, through your nose. And I'd like you to then release it through your mouth. And with each in-breath, I want you to feel the relaxation coming into your body. And with each out-breath, I want you to feel the more relaxation and a sinking feeling that you're going to go have a nice little chill. Okay. While you've got your eyes closed, I just want you to focus on your body now. I want you to feel around your body. Feel your back. What's it feel like? Feel your arms. What do they feel like? Feel your knees, feel your feet. Just check in with your body. Is there any sensations that you have at the moment in your body? And this is the normal you for today. This is you for today, okay? Because what we're going to do in a minute, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you to check in with your body and see if something happens in your body when I ask you to do certain things, okay? So we're all ready? You don't have to thumbs up me because you need to have your eyes closed. Okay, so nice deep breath in through the nose and breathe out. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to think about a time in your life where you felt there was an injustice took place, and when you needed something and wanted something, but you didn't get your own way, where you felt you were treated unfairly, okay? And you became quite cross with this situation. I want you to focus on a person that makes you feel like that. Is there anybody that makes you feel that they treated you unfairly? Okay, just sit with that for a moment. I want you to focus on, while your eyes are closed, the situation around that person or just the person and how they made you feel. Okay, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and release. Okay, just check in with your body again. Start to twiddle your toes, move your fingers, give yourself a little gentle shake, and when you're ready, just open your eyes. Okay, are we back? So I want you to practice that if it didn't feel comfortable doing it now with me live. So I want you to practice that, okay, on your own, in your own time. And sometimes it's nice to play some lovely music to it. Okay, so I was able to release my anger when I saw and felt this amazing compassion for the person that I thought was hurting me. And I grew unwittingly spiritually mature. Little bits of me started to grow spiritually mature and open up to the fact that love heals everything and changes everything. I want to just share something with you that hope blows your mind as it did mine. When I was given the song Love Changes Everything, I did not know until this morning that it was released in 1989. I had my lump from my breast removed in October of 1989. Do you see how spirit works? Unbelievable. Now, there's something I want to talk to you about that's very serious, and I want you to think about it. I'm going to leave you with this, okay? First up, I had an anger and resentment issue towards my mother and her partner and the whole situation of the way I thought the way my father had been treated in the divorce, okay? I love my mom dearly now. We have a totally different relationship, which is fantastic. You know, we've both grown. We've grown into each other. It's amazing. And to have that compassion, put yourself in their shoes, try and see how they're feeling about stuff, is giving love to them and saying, I understand. I understand. It doesn't mean you have to stay around people that are toxic, just so you know, and I'm not condoning anybody who was cruel to you when you offer them compassion, okay? It's for yourself. You're filling yourself and you're releasing that anger. You're filling yourself full of love to heal you. Now, some people get confused. I'm going to mention the word karma, okay? K-A-R-M-A. Some people get confused with karma, and they take comfort in the fact that when someone's hurt them, they say, well, watch out because karma's going to get you, okay? That is not being spiritually mature, just so you know. Karma is not about revenge. Karma is a learning gift that is given from God, and he or spirit or the universe or whoever you believe in, source, decides when karma takes place. Some people come here as a sacrifice, so it's not our place to judge and send karma onto people. if you want to grow spiritually mature. Okay, I hear that all the time. So just so you know, spirit decide, not us. And we can't threaten someone with karma because we're not in control of their destiny or their karmic laws that are in circ at the moment. We all have them. We all have our own karmic debt to pay. Okay, but that's a whole different spiritual perspective. But Spirit placed that on my heart that I needed to share that today. Now, my pain was in my chest, where my heart is. Okay, and I had an issue with love, which was tugging on my heart. My heart was breaking a little bit by feeling let down by my parent and the whole situation around it. My left breast had something nasty in it that needed to come out. Okay, and basically breasts nurture babies, they feed babies, and they create a bond between a mother and a baby. So don't you think it's a bit crazy that I got woken up at 5:45 this morning and reminded about having my lump removed from my breast on Mothering Sunday? Remember, love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in this world will ever be the same. I hope today has helped you, and I hope you realize that you need to be caring of yourself first to heal the wounds that are within you. And if anybody wants to write to me and tell me what this message meant to them, if it spoke to you in a way at all, then I'm very happy to hear from you. May God bless you. And until next time, take care of yourselves and love one another. Bye-bye.